Hey everyone, welcome to Life in Full Send, Athletes Reimagined, the podcast where we discuss the experience of redefining life after being an athlete. I am your host, Liz Hall, an integration specialist and your teammate in navigating that big question, what comes after sports? Each week I sit down with former athletes who have faced that very question and share how they navigated the transition. Today, we've got someone who truly defines the word multi-talented. From playing two Division I sports, baseball and football at UCLA, and earning a spot as a pitcher in Major League Baseball, now excelling in real estate, fatherhood, and life after the jersey. Let's dive in with Josh Roenicke, a story about chasing greatness, redefining success, and staying full send long after the final game. Let's get into it. Have you read The Miracle Morning?
I think we might have it in there. I haven't read that yet, though.
So I'm just diving in and it's incredible. So he talks about his personal story where in 2008, the depression, he had lost his business, and he talks about Hal Elrod. He talks about how he was struggling. He went to his friend. So in kind of a vulnerable space, he went to his friend and said, I'm struggling. I need help. And his buddy, the question he asked was, are you working out? And he was like, what? Why are you asking me that? And then he goes in to say why that's so important. And many of the books of self-development will say you change one part of your life, every other part changes. And I think we take advantage. I'm not going to put this on anybody. I'll say it for myself. For somebody that's lost 140 pounds naturally, as something that I can control was that I can control what I do with my body. I cannot control what's happening in the world. I cannot. So if I'm a recent retired athlete, I cannot control what the job market is doing. I can control my body. I can control what I consume in my mouth and my mind and my ears. Take control of what we have control over versus being seduced by the temptation of the outside uncontrolled.
I never thought about it like that. That's a great point because that's so important in sports, they say, too. Like, the game speeds up. We think about doubts and what ifs, but we can't control what might happen. Like, control what's happening right now and control what you can't control. Like you said, I can control going to the gym when I have time. I can control what I eat. So you can control your health in a sense. Maybe I can't control, especially this year, the way things are going with this market. Like, I can't control if my listings sell. But there are things you can control, so you might as well, take advantage of those first and foremost.
And the mind, the most powerful asset we have is between the ears. So just like you said, you're not going to be able to control the market. I can guarantee somebody in a down market is going to have their best year. I know it. That happens only all the time.
It happened last year to me. I had my best year when 74% of agents did not sell a house, they said. And
boom.
This year's terrible, but it was when I read that, I'm like, that is crazy because I had my best year when a lot of people struggle.
It's so important what we listen to, who we listen to. I know that Miracle Morning talks about that too. And I just finished Hidden Potential and Do Hard Things, two great books. If we listen to somebody that has no idea what they're talking about and we take it for gospel, we're in trouble. And I like to just do a filter. And this is important as we're retiring, of getting advice. If somebody's life is a dumpster fire and they're telling you how you should live, let it go. They're not living how I want to live, or they're not creating what I want to create. It's okay to say, thanks for that. Andy Frisella, the author of 75 Hard, and that creator of that. So it was a book first and then outlines the challenge. I had done everything unbroken. So to the script, and I had been traveling. So I was doing my outdoor hikes. I did it in a blizzard in Flagstaff, Arizona. It was so ridiculous.
Elevation too.
Unbelievable. And I swore off when I moved from Michigan. And I worked for the Cavaliers. So lake effects. Worked for the Nets in Jersey, snow. I swore it off when I moved to South Florida. So the fact that I was doing it in an absolute blizzard, it taught me sometimes is no sexiness in the mundane. There's no sexiness in consistency, right? But that's not what it's about. And so if we can kind of get off that and just say the goal is what we're working for.
It might have been Atomic Habits or one of those books we were talking about. They asked an Olympic coach what he sees the difference in Olympians compared to everyone else. He goes, they're okay with the boring. He goes, to be great, to be a professional athlete, you are doing a lot of tedious things day in and day out that are not fun, but you know they're necessary to become what you want to become. So I think that's promising for ex-athletes who are in a bad place. Like, you got to be professional for a reason, because you were doing those things that a lot of people don't like to do, but you know they're necessary. So it kind of goes along the same lines, and whatever you want to, what you're doing next, to kind of take that to heart. Like, it's not going to be immediate, but if I do these day in and day out, it can become what it did in sports.
You can change mindset, right? We talked a little bit about that. You can create new neural pathways, and athletes have a mindset just like you're saying. You already have a mindset that is so disciplined. It's rooted in discipline. It's rooted in commitment. It's rooted in hard work and work ethic. It's like, man, athletes are so ahead of the game in that. And it's just, I think it's reframing it. It's okay, you have that, so just translate it. And I'm not saying just as in minimizing it. I'm saying yes, you have it, and let's put it somewhere else. Life is not over after that.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, the workouts and being consistent with those. I keep reading more and more about people who weren't even athletes, but they just, that's like their number one thing is my health. Because if you're not healthy brain wise and body, it's going to be hard to succeed in what you're doing, because there's some sort of tension relief, and especially with guys with testosterone, like it is important to get those workouts in and then clear your mind, so you can then focus on being in the present, like I said, instead of falling in that trap of what
if you could speak directly to a retired or retiring athlete out there who is struggling or feeling stuck, what would you say to them?
I'd say just be in the present, honestly. Like, if you keep looking toward the future, like what's going to happen, those what ifs, man, they can play a dark game in your mind, because they'll overwhelm you and put you in a bad place. But if you're in the present, you do what needs to be done each day, every day. Slight Edge, I just read that book. I don't know if you've read that one yet. It's unbelievable for consistencies each day. I mean, it's guaranteed that you will succeed. I mean, it's almost as fact as it comes. It's like the 10,000 hour rule. Like, to master anything, it has to be 10,000 hours. No matter what you're doing, if you're doing it consistently on a daily basis, like, how can you not succeed? I just think we just get caught up so much on wanting to see what immediate gratification. We want that right now. But if you give it time and do consistency over a long period of time, there's no doubt that you're gonna succeed in what you're doing. And the Slight Edge he brings up, so I told you, read 10 pages a day. If you read 10 pages for a week straight, are you can get better? Probably not. Because if you do it for a year straight every day, it's about 12 books you read in that year. I promise you, you're going to learn a lot from those 12 books. So it basically shows, compounding interest works with money, but compounding with growth and mindset is just as powerful.
That's just what I was going to say. We take this big goal, and without chunking it down, everything is a process. So then somebody from the outside would say he's destined for success in real estate because of his network. Okay, but it was still a process.
Yeah.
In that first year selling 1 to 2 properties with a vast network, it was still a process. And this process of becoming, there, especially as we retire, there's a death cycle that happens. There's that death of the identity of what was, and that murky space between no longer an athlete and not yet, question mark, don't even know yet, need to go into discovery of it.
I mean, with athletes, there's always private lessons too, which I did. And so, you can do both. Like, I didn't enjoy them, but they can be good money to keep you afloat. And maybe you got to work harder and do the other thing on the side at the same time. It's going to take more hours, but if you're doing that other thing consistently every single day, it's going to transition from, I don't have to do as many lessons now. Now I'm succeeding over here in whatever your passion is or what you want to do next.
Such a great conversation with just an incredible person. Thanks to Josh Roenicke for sharing his heart, time, and journey, and the wisdom on what it means to keep growing long after the game ends. If this episode inspired you, please share it with a fellow athlete or a friend navigating their next chapter, because we're all writing our playbooks as we go. Make sure to follow and subscribe to Life in Full Send, Athletes Reimagine. And if you love the episode, please drop a quick comment so we can reach more incredible athletes who may need to feel seen and heard. Until next time, please remember, the game ends, a chapter ends, but your story doesn't. Keep living your life in full send.